Well, mark your calendars because there are 2 election days coming up in Wisconsin.
Now, this is such an important segment. The spring election, February 18th, State Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, judge, district court judge in several counties will all be on the ballot.
And of course, Wisconsin's presidential primary is coming up April 7th. The City of Madison Clerk's Office would like voters to know the answers to some of the most frequently asked questions about voter ID. Maribeth Witzel-Beal is the Madison City Clerk. She's with us today on Live at 4. Welcome, Maribeth. Good to see you. So let's first talk about the big issue that's been the subject of some controversy about whether you've moved recently, right. and the list of voters that may be purged.
Yeah, some 200,000 people in Wisconsin, right?
Yes.
So what's the latest on that?
Well, there's still a court battle going on over the potential voter purge. And so it's important that everybody, whether you've moved or not, check their voter registration online. And you can do that really simply at myvote.wi.gov. When you check your registration, all you have to enter is your name and your date of birth. And then you're looking for the site to say you are registered to vote, but then you also want to check, is the address listed for me up to date? If it is up to date, great. If not, you want to update your registration. But you also want to check whether there's a green box on the screen that says confirm your address. If it says confirm your address, that means you were a part of that mover mailing and you're at risk of being purged from the list. So you would want to click on that green button to confirm your address if it's accurate.
And once again, that website is?
myvote.wi.gov.
Yeah, so important. So your ID, a lot of people talk about ID, voter ID now in Wisconsin.
Right.
It does not have to match your address, or it does?
Not at all.
Right.
What you're proving with your ID at the polling place is your identity, and your identity stays the same even if you move. So your driver license or your Wisconsin ID might have an old address on it, and that's okay. You're still able to use that ID to prove your address, or to prove your identity at the polls. Your address would have already been proven when you registered to vote.
Okay. So what forms of identification do you want to take with you when you go to your polling place?
The most common type we see would be the Wisconsin driver license or Wisconsin ID card. But other than that, you could use a military ID, a U.S. passport, a college ID if it meets certain requirements. If you're a UW-Madison student, you want to use the Madison voter ID card available from Union South. Your WIS card would not work.
The WIS card would not work. Okay, that's good to know.
A lot of people don't have IDs and they need to go get them. What do you recommend to those folks? There's a lot of places where they can go and they got to act now, right?
Right. You want to take care of that as soon as possible, but it can be overwhelming.
Right.
There's so many documents that are required. And so if you need to get a Wisconsin ID and you want to know that out-of-state IDs do not work under Wisconsin's voter ID law. So for those who need to get a Wisconsin ID, there's free help available, including a free cab ride to the DMV. And so you'd want to call the voter ID hotline. This is a coalition of the Dane County League of Women Voters and the NAACP of Dane County. And they have a hotline, 285-2141. And call that number. You can get free help in getting your ID.
You have a very busy spring ahead.
Yes, you do.
We really appreciate you stopping by to share. This is so important. If there's any other service that's more important, I don't know what it is. So thank you so much for stopping by.
Great to see you.
All right, we'll be right back.